podcasters. What I want to talk about is stress, how to cope with stress, and some of the factors that affect stress, and our response strategies and our response times. So this will be a multi-parted video series, if you will, on stress shock phenomena, and things like that. So what I want to talk about first is general adaptation syndrome, right? So what does that mean? So imagine that you're in a state of homeostasis where you're just cruising along in life, everything's normal, you're not stressed out, and then all of a sudden something happens to shock you or surprise you weren't expecting. What happens then is you go from, imagine going from fifth gear, cruising right along, all of a sudden you've got to downshift to third gear, right? Get some power to either run away from the situation or to confront the situation. Anyways, that's your stress, right? Stress starts to, you go on the upslope. And then eventually, you can't stay in a stress situation all the time. I've talked about Cooper's color codes of readiness, and I talked about condition red. Condition red is where combat is imminent, threat is imminent, and you're gonna have to engage, but you cannot stay in that state of readiness forever. Eventually, you're gonna basically get fatigued, and you're gonna go on the downslope, and you're gonna just run out of gas and drive. So when we get stressed out, it's a primordial or primitive response to stress, right? When we were back in time, when we were confronted with a threat like a saber-toothed tiger, we had two choices: either kill this thing or try to escape, either fight it or flight. And that response is still innate within us, and it rears its head all the time in everything that we do every day. Something as simple as misplacing your car keys and looking for your car keys can cause stress, even though it's not the same kind of stress as facing, a threat like a saber-toothed tiger. It nonetheless has the same results, right? You start to, heart rate goes up, tachycardia, you start to secrete epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, and you start getting kind of tunnel vision. That's why sometimes we lose our keys, but the entire time they're laying right in front of us, we don't see them, because it's not because our vision is so much centralized or focused. It's really our brain is, and there's a reason for that. From a primitive perspective, what we're trying to do is focus on the threat that's immediate in front of us, right? We don't care about everything that's in the periphery or that's farther in depth. We want to deal with the situation at hand right in front of us. So that's why we get this tunnel vision, this focus, if you will, directly to our front. The ideal would be to be able to focus and be aware of everything around you, right? Have that 360-degree awareness, and you can through training and experience. But first, you have to understand what are the dynamics of the fight or flight syndrome, so that once you recognize them, you can now train to overcome those things. So, I mentioned general adaptation syndrome. It's a quick change in gears, if you will, to prepare us to run or to fight. It happens very quickly, but nonetheless, it takes a fraction of a second to go through that change. Therefore, if you are surprised by, let's just say, an attacker, then what happens is you're now inside of his OODA loop. I've talked about OODA loop in some of the other segments prior to this, right? You never want to be in somebody else's OODA loop, because that means you're responding to their will. They're imposing their will and you're responding to it. You're no longer in charge of the situation. It's running you, you're not running it. In fact, he's running the situation and you're basically responding and reacting to him. Essentially, you're in a defensive mode, right? We don't ever want to be in a defensive mode. If you're in defense, more than likely you're losing, or you're gonna lose. Ideally, we want to impose our will and be on the offense, right? We want to implement speed, surprise, violence of action, and momentum, those elements that I've talked about before. We want to impose our will on the threat. So general adaptation syndrome is something that we go through. We don't always, what we don't sometimes realize is just how much effect stress has on us. Every little day, any kind of stress, whether it's an argument with your spouse, your employer, it's something else that's bothering you. All these things create stress, and there's a physiological response to all that. One of those responses is the secretion of cortisol. So cortisol actually allows your body to burn fat for energy right now. I need energy right now to fight the saber-toothed tiger or to run away. Cortisol also tells non-essential organ systems to shut down, right? So what is the reason why is your body wants to divert all that energy, nutrition, oxygen, and everything to large muscle groups that are required to either fight or to run away. So, your gastrointestinal system basically is shut down. Another system that gets shut down is your immune system. So every time your immune system shut down, right, your body's no longer reacting, responding to, xenotoxins and viruses and bacteria and things that are going on in your body. So the logic being this, cortisol says, hey, immune system shut down. I know you're in fighting stage 4 cancer right now. All hands are on deck. But if we don't beat the saber-toothed tiger and kill it or get away from it, then you're fighting, stage 4 cancer doesn't mean anything. None of us are going to survive this, right? So it's really the body trying to maximize its ability to survive. And so it basically shuts down systems it doesn't need for that moment. So the problem is every time we stress out, like we misplace our car keys, for example, or we have an argument, guess what's happening? Your immune system is being, suppressed. And that allows, disease to start to flourish, right? And if we're stressed out every day, that means our immune system's functioning subpar, if at all, and it's a matter of time before we get sick. That's why a lot of people that are sick, are always stressed out. They're always in a bad mood. A lot of times they're overweight. There's a lot of things that go along with it. They're always smoking, they're drinking, they're trying to cope. They're trying to cope with things they don't understand, and they haven't figured out how to resolve those stressors, right? So stress is a bad thing. However, sometimes it can be a little bit of a good thing too. It helps motivate our body and springs us into action where necessary. But what's important is when we respond to stress, that we respond in a controlled manner. And the way we respond in a controlled manner is we have to understand the stressor. What is it that's scaring us, that's creating this type of stress for us? Once we understand that, then we lose our fear for it. And once we lose our fear, we lose the stress, and we're more confident in our approach and in the solutions that go with it. So, general adaptation syndrome. The next segment I'll talk about is stress shock phenomena, how that comes to play, and how that we use that to our advantage in the Delta Force.